I'm a Filipino. Why can I not become a Filipino citizen? Why can't I be a dual citizen? But I'm a Filipino. I speak the language. I studied in the Philippines. I went to the Philippines, blah, blah, blah. All kinds of justification for why they should not be entitled to become a Filipino. That's what we'll talk about. Stay with me. I received an inquiry from someone who said, gee, my mother is a Filipino, and how can I not apply for dual citizenship? Or why am I not considered a Filipino? I speak the language. I make adobo. I just added that. But there are certain legal matters that will have to be taken into account. The fact that you have a Filipino color, in fact, both of your parents may be Filipinos, and yet you cannot become a Filipino. Well, why is that? So I gave him my advice, and he followed through on it, and this is what he came back to me with. Let's take a look at it. He said to me, "Good morning, Vlogger Grandpa. I wanted to give you an update and new piece of information regarding Philippine citizenship." See, because sometimes I give information, but then I suggest to them, go ahead and talk to the immigration office, because it's most important that you just don't rely on what you hear from YouTube. YouTube is going to give you basic information, so you're equipped with the information before you go to the immigration office or any office for that matter. It's just a preliminary background information. But at the end of the day, you have to really go to the various offices. So he said, I wanted to give you an update, a new piece of information regarding Philippine citizenship. You are absolutely correct regarding my situation, because it was my mother who was Filipino, and the fact that I was born before 1973, I'm ineligible for citizenship with this circumstance. That means his father was an American, mother Filipino, but he was born in 1973. Up to 1973, you're required to have Filipino father, not mother. After 1973, either you have a Filipino mother or you have a Filipino father, and you will be eligible to apply for dual citizenship. Again, before 1973, it is your father who has to be a Filipino citizen. Okay? That's very important. The interesting thing is that I have a friend who is retiring from government service who has same ancestry as me, Italian Filipino. But in her case, the citizenship is reversed. It is the father that was Filipino, given the fact that she also falls under 1935 Philippine Constitution. She is eligible for citizenship as it was her father who was Filipino. I find this very interesting, and I have passed on the information to her. Keep up the great videos, as it is videos like yours that has me exploring the possibility of living an expat retirement in the Philippines. Of course, I will go back and forth, but in retirement, the cost of living is much less in the Philippines. Regards, Ted. When you're applying for, and there are two things, okay? Either you are a dual citizen or a citizen at birth, but you have to file a report of birth, because the Philippines has no record of your birth, and that is the only reason for the so-called report of birth. If your parents was a Filipino at the time you were born, but you were born in the United States, you are considered a Filipino, again, provided you meet those requirements that at the time of your birth, mother or father were still Filipinos. And born before 1973, it is your father who has to be Filipino. Now, you don't have to apply for dual citizenship. In that case, all you have to do is to file a report of birth. Now, when do you file dual citizenship application? Dual citizenship is granted only to people who used to be Filipino citizen then lost their citizenship because they became naturalized in a foreign country. So you were born in the Philippines, you grew up in the Philippines, then you applied for immigration, then you came over. So when you came over, you were a Filipino citizen, okay? When you came over overseas. Then you became naturalized and you lost your Philippine citizenship. Then you will have to apply for dual. But if you never lost your U.S. citizenship, for example, you were born in the United States, but it is your parents who applied for citizenship, you never did. All you have to do is to file a report of birth and prove that when you were born, and this is very important, you were born, your father was a Filipino citizen prior to 1973. If you were born after 1973, either father or mother is a Filipino citizen. So those are the only requirements, and I want to clarify that. Now, I also have some questions about, gee, how do I contact Philippine consulate or Philippine immigration? If they're not getting back to me, they're not responding to my email, I cannot contact them. Hopefully, that is gone now. Hopefully, they accept walk-in applicants now, or inquiries that you can go to the immigration. I did hear that it's already open. But if it is not yet open, keep on sending them emails. Send them the first email, then if they don't respond in 2 days, send them the same email, but mark it as second request. Then after 2 days, send them another request. Let's call it third request. At some point, they will get sick and tired seeing your email and they will respond. That's all I can say. Okay? So, this is a short video to talk again about this dual citizenship versus report of birth. So, hopefully it helps you out. And I'll appreciate it if you can share this with other people. And please click like and do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so. Thank you so much. Make it a great day and God bless.